Hi, Dan Steven Erickson here, songwriter. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about subscribing to the channel. So I was looking at my analytics, the statistics of the people who come and view the channel, and 95% of you don't subscribe. 95% of the people that come and watch my songs and listen to what I'm doing don't subscribe to the channel. I don't know why that is, but hey man, come on. Maybe we could bring that down to 90%? So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Today I'm not going to do a song. I'm going to talk to you about another form of music that I have practiced writing and creating for about 10 years, 8 or 10 years, and it's electronic music. And I've done a bunch of different styles of electronic music, everything from house to ambient to drone to even some pop-like music structures. But I tend to like ambient and drone and experimental the best. And so I've done a lot of ambient music. It's all done, you can find it on my website at danstevenerickson.com. You can also find it on Bandcamp under Anderhill. But I kind of have three different personalities under Bandcamp. I have Anderhill, which is the original. I started out with an EP called The Beginning, and that started it off, and then I had Out of the Radio Static, which uses real radio static, Time and Texture, which uses a lot of gritty little sounds and real subtle beats, Tag This Music Anderhill, Something Beyond Our Own Understanding. That's early Anderhill, and I kept writing music as Anderhill for a couple years, and then I did something different, and it was darker. And when I did it, it was like, this isn't Anderhill. This is something else. And so I started a second musical personality for electronic and ambient and drone music. And it's called A Cult of Lies. And the first album by A Cult of Lies is called, he called himself Michael the Archangel, but he was born to destroy. And it's about my childhood in a cult put to music. And so it's themed. I've got one called Requiem for a Stillborn Angel in a similar style. Another Cult of Lies is Everything You've Ever Dreamed is Possible. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of electronic music. I got some that's kind of more like lighter Japanese ambient, like musical sketches from Discovery Bay that I did on site. I stayed a weekend at Discovery Bay up near Port Townsend, Washington. Most of this stuff kind of represents feelings of places and landscapes. Now that's why we call this soundscape a lot of the time. The OWG is another personality I use, and that's stuff that has a beat. So dark matter, vault, they have heavy beats, the OWG music, which stands for old white guy. It's kind of fun. I've done a couple soundtracks for a friend who does podcasting, a whole bunch of stuff. There's probably 50 EPs and albums on my Bandcamp page under Anderhill. Even one demo of songs as a songwriter for Dan Steven Erickson stuff, Mississippi and other demos. So I encourage you, you can get to it from my website at danstevenerickson.com. You can get to it from Bandcamp, Anderhill. I encourage you to go check that out. It's a little different. I started doing it because I got bored with traditional songwriting. I'd been doing that so long that I wanted to do something different. And I started playing around with electronic recording on GarageBand, and I slowly learned how to blend sounds together in a way that's both harmonic and discordant, but yet is soothing, almost stuff that is meditative in a lot of cases. So I encourage you to check that out. I hope you might enjoy some of that. Again, go to danstevenerickson.com. It's under the music tab, or go to Bandcamp Anderhill and check out some of my electronic music. I may do more this year. I'm kind of on the songwriting mode. We'll see. I haven't done anything in that vein since sometime in 2024. But it's always something I enjoy doing, and especially works well, I think, with photography and poetry when I'm in that mode. But I just thought I'd take a few minutes, tell you a little bit about my electronic music. So Remember, 95% of you are not hitting that subscribe button. So please hit the subscribe button. And I'm Dan Steven Erickson checking out, and I will be back again soon with another song. We'll see you later.